Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is August 18th, and Wander Franco's career may be over before it even started. The 2023 Dodgers are officially here. Let's do it. Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. This is the middle of the order. Happy Friday, everybody. We're about the midway point in the month of August, and baseball is rolling, and we've got another series recap to go over, as well as many other things to do in today's episode. Without wasting any time, let's dive into our series recap. Let's lead things off with a two-game set here between the Blue Jays and the Phillies. We got Kikuchi, we got Wheeler. What a pitcher's duel this was. The offense was lacking from both teams. Tied at one late, the Blue Jays had the bases loaded and got lucky with Kevin Biggio getting hit by the pitch, bringing in the go-ahead run. Jordan Romano is back from injury and locks down the save as the Jays take the win 2-1. In game 2, Harper playing some more first base and had quite the day at the dish, hitting 2 home runs in the game. Jake Cave also goes deep. The Phillies win it and split the 2-game set with the Blue Jays 9-4. And we've got another 2-game set, this one between division rivals, the Twins and the Tigers. Miguel Cabrera is still doing it, as well as Spencer Torkelson, both homering for the Tigers. But a grand slam from the rookie Matt Wallner puts the Twins in the lead as they take the game as they win it 5-3. Riley Green with a home run and a triple. Spencer Torkelson, 2 more home runs, brings in 6 of the 8 Tiger runs together. And while the Twins tried to come back with home runs from Jorge Polanco and Max Kepler in the 9th, they would end up a run short as the Tigers split the 2 games with the Twins 1 each, 8-7. The Mariners and the Royals for a 4-game set. And this series starts with the Royals being in control, Brady Singer dealing, Salvi Perez going yard, and Bobby Witt Jr. hits an inside the park home run. The Royals had a 5-0 lead entering the 8th, but the Mariners scored 6 straight runs, 4 in the 8th and 2 in the 9th to take the lead. But the Royals weren't going to be okay with that, so they tied it up in the 9th, and then Darion Blanco walked it off with a walk-off bunt. The Royals hold on and take the first of 4, 7-6. The Mariners started the scoring in the 4th when they hit 4 home runs from Eugenio Suarez, Ty France, Teoscar Hernandez, and Josh Rojas, his first of the year. But it wasn't easy for the Mariners to run away with it thanks to Bobby Witt Jr., who hits a grand slam. With the Royals down 3 in the 9th, they were able to catch up and score 3 runs to tie it and send it to extras. But even though the Royals were able to come back from being down 7, the Mariners scored 2 in the 10th and hold them to win the game and even up this series 10-8. Third game here, another close game in Kansas, but the Mariners get the better of them thanks to a home run from Kyle Raleigh and a good day at the plate from Julio as they take the game, winning it 6-5. And speaking of Julio, what a day was it for him in the 4th and final game. Julio going 5-5 with a huge 3-run home run in the 8th to put the Mariners up. Kyle Raleigh goes deep once again in the 9th as an insurance run, and the Mariners win 3 of 4 versus the Royals and take it 6-4. Angels and Rangers now, and the Angels can only get 1 hit in the game, while the Rangers piled it on with Marcus Semien and Adolis Garcia hitting home runs. The Rangers take the opener, winning it 12-0. In the second game, Corey Seager hits 2 home runs in the game. Jordan Montgomery deals well enough to hold the Angels. The Rangers take another, beating them 7-3. And for that final game, John Gray and Reed Detmers were absolutely dealing, but it came down to 2 home runs, one from Shohei for his 42nd of the year, and one from Matt Thaiss as the Angels avoid the sweep and take the last game 2-0. Astros and Marlins now. Jorge Soler, Luis Arias, and Josh Bell go back to back in the 8th to put the Marlins lead out of reach as they beat the Astros in the first game from a score of 5-1. In Game 2, Yanyer Diaz, Chas McCormick, and Kyle Tucker all go deep in the game for the Astros, as Tucker's home run broke the tie and it was the last run scored in the game, as the Astros even up this series, winning it 6-5. Alex Bregman, Kyle Tucker, and Chas McCormick all go deep in the first inning to start the rubber match for the Stros. The Marlins brought it back to only being down 1 before the Astros added late and scored 6 runs in the 7th to put this game out of reach, as the Astros take 2 of 3 versus the Finns, winning it 12-5. Yankees and Braves. The Braves score 8 runs in the first 3 innings and hit 2 home runs from Austin Riley and Eddie Rosario. They beat the Yankees in the first game 11-3. Second game, 2 home runs, a 3-run shot from Marcell Ozuna and a 2-run shot from Ronald Acuna Jr. made up all the runs in the game. The Yankees get 2 errors and only had 1 hit as they reach new lows for the season, losing once again to the Braves 5-0. Eddie Rosario's 2-run home run was the only 2 runs in this final game. The Yankees out-hit the Braves but still lost the game. The Braves sweep the Yankees, who drop below 500 this late in the season for the first time since 1992. The Braves win it 2-0. Red Sox and Nationals now. Alex Verdugo goes deep early, and despite the Nationals' best efforts and a 4-run fourth, the Red Sox hold on and take the first game, winning it 5-4. Game 2, 4 National home runs. Michael Chavis, Keibert Ruiz, and 2 from Stone Garrett gave the Nats the win. They even up the series 6-2. And for that final game, the rubber match, the Nats score 8 straight runs, including a 5-run fifth. Boston attempted a comeback with a grand slam from Luis Arias and home runs from Rafael Devers and Tristan Casas for his 20th of the year in his rookie season, but they come up short. The Nationals win it and take 2 of 3 versus Boston, winning it 10-7. We've got the Pirates and the Mets. The Mets go deep 3 times, and the bullpen keeps the Pirates quiet from a comeback. The Mets take the opener, winning it 7-2. The Pirates score 6 runs in the 7th and take the game away from the Mets as they beat them 7-4. And in that final game, DJ Stewart homers twice. Pete Alonso hits number 36 on the year. The Mets take 2 of 3 versus the Pirates, winning it 8-3. White Sox and Cubs now battle Chicago for a 2-game set, and tied at 3 late. Luis Robert Jr. hit an absolute tank and pimped it like crazy, which would put the White Sox up and take the first of the 2-game set as the White Sox win it 5-3. And after being down 3-0, the Cubs got on the board in the 8th with a solo shot from Nick Madrigal. And then in the 9th, Christopher Morel hit a walk-off 3-run home run and lost his mind running the bases. It was a crazy celebration from him, and the Chicago teams split the 2-game set, 1 each, as the Cubs win the second one 4-3. Guardians and Reds now for a 2-game set. Logan Allen's great start helps blank the Reds, while the Guardians score 2 runs early on a double from Jose Ramirez as they take the first of 2, beating the Reds 3-0. And the other game, home runs from Stuart Fairchild and Matt McLain helped lift the Reds past the Guardians as they split the 2-game set 7-2. A's and Cardinals now. The Cardinals get going with a home run from Goldschmidt and get a 4-run 7th to take the first game, beating the A's 7-5. 3 Cardinal home runs from Nolan Arenado, Jordan Walker, and Tommy Edman lead them to another one, this one 6-2. And then Tyler Soderstrom goes deep for the A's, who blank the Redbirds and avoid the sweep as they take the last game 8-0. Brewers and Dodgers now. After scoring 5 runs in the 6th to take the lead, the Dodgers ride it out for the rest of the game and win the opener versus the Brewers to extend their win streak to 9 as they beat them 6-2. Miguel Roja and Chris Taylor homer for the Dodgers as the Giants keep the foot on the pedal and win their 10th in a row from the score of 7-1. And for that final game, Lance Lynn and Corbin Burns both pitched 7 scoreless innings. And in the end, the lone run in this one came from Austin Barnes, who hit his first home run of the year to help the Dodgers win streak reach 11 as they sweep the Brewers, winning 1-0. Now we've got the Rays and the Giants, and the Rays get their hitting shoes on and score runs in 5 different innings, including a home run from Christian Bethancourt as they beat the Giants in the first game 10-2. Theo Estrada and Wilmer Flores go deep for the Giants as 4 Giant pitchers are used to blank the Rays, and they even up the series, winning it 7-0. And for that final game, rubber match time, and it's 2 Lowe home runs as Josh Lowe and Brandon Lau homer to get the Rays off and running, and Luke Raley hits one of the most bizarre inside the park home runs to help do his part as the Rays take 2 of 3 versus the Giants, winning it 6-1. Orioles and Padres now, a Ryan O'Hearn home run and a bases-clearing double from Gunnar Henderson was all the O's needed to take the opener versus the Padres, beating them 4-1. Michael Wacha outduels Jack Flaherty, who gave up a grand slam to the ever-so-scary Gary Sanchez, as the Padres are all over the O's in this one. They even up the series with a win 10-3, and Blake Snell in the final game pitches well. As his great second half continues, Trent Grisham homers to give the Padres an insurance run. Later on, Tatis steals home for an electric run, which would put this one out of reach as the Padres take the series versus the Oilers, winning it 5-2. And finally, here we have the D-backs and the Rockies, and a 4-run 8th inning flips the script for the Rockies as they started the inning down 2 and ended it up 2, which was enough to hold the D-backs, who dropped the first game to the Rockies, losing it 6-4. In the second game, Christian Walker starts the scoring with a home run, but the Rockies fight back and end up 2 once again as they enter the 9th inning. But this time, the D-backs didn't go down. They scored 5 runs in the 9th, and it was their turn to flip the script as they get a come-from-behind win and even up the series versus the Rockies, winning it 8-5. And for that final game, Christian Walker continues his big series with 2 more home runs in the game for a total of 3 in the series. The D-backs do what they need to do and take 2 of 3 versus the Rockies as they win the last game 9-7. Now, with that being said, let's jump into our game of the week. And the Mariners and Royals played a very good 4-game set with 2 very close games. And we'll be talking about one of them here. The Mariners were able to win it. Top of the 4th, things get started for them with Eugenio Suarez home run number 17, 1-0 Mariners. Ty France then joins him, his 10th of the year, to make it 2-0. Then a 2-run shot from Teoscar Hernandez, number 18 on the year, makes it 4-0 Mariners. Jose Caballero doubles in a run, making it 5-0, and then Josh Rojas, the 4th home run in the inning for the Mariners, makes it 7-0, all in the 4th. But in the bottom of the 5th, the Royals strike Miguel Garcia, a single that scored a run, but it also kept the bases loaded, which was important because Bobby Witt Jr. home run at number 23, a grand slam, and all of a sudden the Royals were back in it, losing now by 2. Until the top of the 7th, where Teoscar Hernandez doubles in a run to make it 8-5 Mariners, which brings us to the bottom of the 9th, where Michael Massey singles in 2 runs to make it 8-7, and then Salvador Perez ties the game in the 9th on a single, but ends up out as we head to extras, where Ty France would single in 2 runs, and the Mariners would hold on from there as they beat the Royals in extras, winning it 10-8 for your game of the week. Now let's dive on into the baseball news, and there's no news bigger in baseball than the Wander Franco situation. I mentioned it a little bit on the Monday episode, but in case you are not familiar with it, what is the case here is that Wander Franco is being investigated for having some sort of relationship with a minor. And it's said that his career might be over here. A tweet from Hector Gomez says a person very close to the investigations. In the case of Wander Franco, it will be very unlikely that Wander Franco will play in the MLB again, judging by the results of the investigation that are currently being carried out, which directly commit him to the accusations against him. And and for Franco, it's horrible. Who knows what the official outcome will be for Wander, but the fact that, at 22 years old, we were talking about this guy is already a future Hall of Famer, and now, he might be known as the guy that screwed over his entire career. He's very talented, but this one, if this is just him, this is just a bad human right here, and obviously we don't want him in MLB, but it sucks for the Rays. I mean, they paid this man an 11-year deal, which he's in his first year of, $182 million. They had a club option for the 2033 season. So, I mean, this guy is supposed to be a Ray for another 10 years before hitting free agency, and, he might be already done with that. A week ago, he was hitting a walk-off home run for the Rays. Saturday, August 12th, was what might go down now as his last game in the majors. He went 1 for 5 with 3 Ks. The Rays offered him a huge contract. That was the biggest contract for a player with less than 1 year of service time. And, now look at him now. He's being talked about, and obviously for not good reasons, and it sucks because like I said, this guy had a lot of, potential and was looking like he could have been a Hall of Famer, one of the best shortstops to ever play, and now he might go down as the biggest what if in baseball. So it sucks for Wander Franco, it sucks for Rays fans in general, but obviously it sucks more for the people involved in the case currently, and when more news comes out, we will definitely mention it. But that is the update there, that Wander Franco may never play MLB again, which is a big loss. But sucks, bad human. Moving on now, the Dodgers are officially here. Welcome to the 2023 season. There was a long period of time at the beginning of the season where we didn't know what the case was. Diamondbacks were leading the NL West, and, we were wondering where the Dodgers were. Here are the Dodgers. They are currently riding an 11-game winning streak. They are 10.5 games ahead of the Giants for the NL West, so good for them. Not only that, but they're now only 4 games back of the Braves for first place in the NL as a whole, which, 2 weeks ago, the Braves had that locked up, and now the Dodgers are coming knocking on the Braves' door. And I mean, what's the reason? I mean, the Dodgers have turned it around in the trade deadline. They're having a extremely hot month of August. I still think they've only lost 1 game in the month of August. I think they're like 16-1, 17-1. So, I mean, the Dodgers are absolutely hot. And why? Well, I mean, the Dodgers take players and turn them into something else. JD Martinez last year with the Red Sox, 16 home runs in 533 at-bats. This year with the Dodgers, he's already at 25 and 345 at-bats. Jason Hayward had an OPS of 555 last year with the Cubs. He's currently at 808 with the Dodgers. David Peralta, his OPS was 652 with the Rays. Now it's 727. Guys they acquired at the trade deadline. Kike Hernandez, his OPS with Boston in the season was 599. In 60 at-bats with the Dodgers, his OPS is 805. Ahmed Rosario, in 4 months of the season with the Guardians, he had 3 home runs and 385 at-bats. So far in the month of August with the Dodgers, he's doubled that. He's got 3 home runs in 51 at bats. Lance Lynn, a 6.47 ERA with the White Sox, now a 2 ERA with the Dodgers. Joe Kelly, 4.97 ERA with the White Sox. So far with the Dodgers, he has not given up a run. Ryan Yarbrough, 4.24 ERA with the Royals, now a 1.74 with the Dodgers. They are turning these guys into stars and they're winning games. And at this rate, the Dodgers are going to be extremely scary come postseason time. So good for the Dodgers. We were wondering where you've been all season, and here you are. Let's see how high you can get that win streak to go to. And now for the last thing here, I want to talk about that NL Wildcard for a little bit. We've got 7 teams fighting for 3 spots. And right now, the one team under 500 that we would consider fighting for a spot is the San Diego Padres. They're 5 games back on the wild card. They're at 58 and 64. And the question we're asking ourselves here is can the Padres battle? Do they have time, and will it be enough? And I mean, the Padres making the postseason, if they want that, they have to earn it. Right now, they're starting a 4-game set versus the Diamondbacks. Then they have 3 against Miami, who's a wild card team. They got 3 against the Brewers, who is, a division leader. They have the Cardinals, which is nice. They end the month with the Giants for a 4-game set. And then it's just more contenders, the Phillies, the Astros, the Dodgers, all of which they have to begin the month of September. And at that point, we'll know whether they're in or out, because that's when their schedule gets a little bit easier when they face teams like the A's, the Rockies, the Cardinals. They end the season against the White Sox. So there is hope for the Padres, but they need to go now, and they need to do it against contenders. Will they be able to? That I'm not so sure. But, let's see what the Padres can come up with there and see how they do. Another question for the NL Wildcard is the Giants. Can they withhold all these contenders? Right now, they have the 2nd seed in the wild card, and they're a game and a half up over the teams like the Cubs, Reds, and Miami, who are all tied for that 3rd seed. And the Cubs have one of the harder schedules left. The Giants have one of the harder schedules left. They've got 7 against the Dodgers. Those games are not going to be fun. And, they've got 6 against the Braves. So if you're the Giants, you got to earn that spot. And right now, although I think they are a good team, teams like the Cubs, teams like the Reds, even teams like the Diamondbacks are still there chasing down the Giants. And I don't know if the Giants have enough in the tank to get them to the end of the season, but only time would tell. They're 3-7 in their last 10, and time is going to slowly start running out. So the Giants need to go, and they got to do their best to hold off those stragglers here. And the last thing that I want to talk about in terms of the NL West wildcard, not the NL West wildcard, the NL wildcard, and which of the 4 surprising teams are the most realistic into postseason? That's the Cubs, the Reds, Miami, and the Diamondbacks. No matter what, if the Giants can hold it off, the Padres don't make it, the Phillies are there, one of those 4 teams will make it, and I don't think anyone had these 4 teams making the wild card entering the season. All 4 teams have been very surprising. Miami, Diamondbacks especially, even the Reds, who knew where they came from and the help of Ellie De La Cruz. But which of the 4 have what it takes? And the first thing I want to talk about is the Marlins not having that good of a schedule left. They have one of the worst ones, with huge games against the Braves. They got 6 against the Dodgers, 7 against the Brewers, 2 against the Rays. I mean, it's not great, but they do have 13 games combined against the Nationals and the Mets still, which could help them out, but Miami is going to be in an uphill battle. One team that won't be in an uphill battle is the Cubs, who have the easiest schedule down the rank here. Out of all 30 teams, the Cubs have the easiest schedule. They don't have to play the Braves. They don't have anything. 16 games left. They have the Royals, Rockies, and Pirates for those 6 teams. 16 games combined for those three teams. They have 3 games against the Tigers, so the Cubs are doing very well in that regards. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Cubs in the dance, especially if they continue to play hot. Obviously, right now their starting pitchers have a hit with Marcus Stroman being done, but the offense has been there. Cody Bellinger, Dansby Swanson, Ian Happ, they've been doing it for the Cubs. But don't count those Reds and don't count out the D-backs either. We'll just have to see kind of how the rest of the season plays off. But the Cubs have an easy schedule. Miami has a hard one. Giants have a hard one, and so do the Padres. So, I mean, a team like the Phillies do have a hard schedule as well, but they are in a little bit more of a comfortable seat, 3.5 games up over the Cubs, Reds, and Miamis there. They're the current holders for the first wild card. And we're getting down to the wire. So, if any of those teams definitely want to cement themselves into the postseason, it starts with a winning streak now, and they got to follow the Dodgers' footsteps because all of a sudden the Dodgers are one of the scarier teams in baseball. I just want to talk about that a little bit. That's your NL the Wild West wild card for the NL side. That's an update there. Now we're going on to our hot and colds. And starting with our hots, we've got the Diamondbacks. Christian Walker, 11 for 26, 5 home runs, 12 RBIs, 7 runs, an OPS of 1.577. Stone Garrett with your Nationals, 10 for 21, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs, 5 runs, an OPS of 1.405. Julio Rodriguez, 15 for 36, 5 doubles, 2 home runs, 16 RBIs, 4 runs, an OPS of 1.154. Brandon Nimmo with your Mets, 12 for 25, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, 3 runs, 7 walks, an OPS of 1.394. And lastly, Bobby Witt Jr., 11 for 27, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, 8 runs, 0 Ks. You know how much I love that. An OPS of 1.281. So good there for your hot players. Moving on to the cold ones, Brandon Crawford from your Giants, 0 for 12 with 5 Ks. Orlando Arcia from the Braves, 1 for 24, 4 Ks. Mickey Moniak, 1 for 21, 8 Ks. Jake Bowers, 1 for 17, 10 Ks. And Brandon Drury from your Angels, 2 from 22 with 9 Ks. That is your hot and cold. And now we have our outstanding performances, and we've got quite the list here, starting off with Brady Singer, 7.1 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 8 Ks. Tyler Glasnow, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 7 Ks. Mad Max Scherzer with your Rangers, he brought it, 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, 1 walk, 11 Ks. Grayson Rodriguez is getting better and better for the O's, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 6 Ks. That's just making him and the team more scarier. Logan Allen from your Guardians, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, 3 walks, and 7 Ks. Jordan Montgomery, another Rangers pickup at the deadline, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 9 Ks. We got Bryce Elder from your Braves, 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, 3 walks, 3 Ks. Mackenzie Gore, 6.1 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, 2 walks, 7 Ks. Paul Blackburn, Oakland Athletics legend, and by that I mean one of the 3 guys that common baseball fans would know on that team. 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, and 8 Ks. Charlie Morton, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 10 Ks. John Gray, 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 4 Ks. Reed Detmer, 7.1 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, 4 walks, and 5 Ks. Mike Clevenger, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 7 Ks. Lance Lynn, 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks. And lastly, Corbin Burns, 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 9 Ks. Those are your outstanding performances. moving along now, we have our stat leaderboard, and not much has changed, and I don't know how much will be changing going forward here. The average stays the same. Luis Arias at 361. Hits, Luis Arias at 164. Home run, there's a new leader, Matt Olson at 43. RBIs, Matt Olson 107. Ronald Acuna Jr. takes back first place for runs at 109. Juan Soto officially reached triple digits in walks at 103. Acuna still leads in steals with 55. The OPS is still Shohei at 1.071. The wins were back to a four-way tie. Taijuan Walker, Justin Steele, Zach Gallen, and Spencer Strider all with 13 wins. All pitchers from the NL side of things. Blake Snell still leads in ERA 2.65. Spencer Strider in Ks at 2.17. And then Camilo Doval and Alexis Diaz still tied at the top for saves with 33 for your not outstanding performances, for your stat leaderboard. Moving along now, we have our upcoming series for this weekend set. And we're starting with the rivalry, Boston at New York. The Red Sox taking on the Yankees. Tigers at Guardians. Pirates at Twins. O's at A's. Rays at Angels. The Mariners at the Houston Astros. Circle that series. That's a big one there. Brewers at Rangers could be fun. Giants at Braves. That's a big one there. Phillies at Nats, Mets at Cardinals, the Blue Jays at the Reds, that's an interesting one. Royals at Cubs, White Sox at Rockies, Marlins at Dodgers, and then D-backs at Padres. Take a red Sharpie and circle that series. That might be the most important one on the docket there. So those are your upcoming series for the weekend now. And lastly, here we have our playoff predictor, and we're going to start with the 6-seeded Blue Jays taking on the 3-seeded Twins. The Twins beat the Blue Jays there. Astros at Rays, that series belongs to the Astros. We move on to the ALDS. Twins at Rangers, and it's the Rangers who wins that. Astros at Oilers, and it's the Oilers who win that. So the 2 seed taking on the 1 seed, the Rangers at the Oilers for the ALCS, and it's the Rangers who wins that and moves on to the World Series. On the NL side, the Cubs and the Brewers, a little division action there, 6 seed versus the 3 seed. It's the Cubs that win that series there. 5 seed Giants taking on 4-seeded Phillies, and it's the Giants who get the best of the Phillies and move on to the NLDS. Cubs at Dodgers, and although the Dodgers are hot, it's the Cubs who take down the Dodgers, move into the NLCS, where they will face either the Giants or the Braves, who are currently going to face off in this weekend series. But as of now, the Braves get the best of the Giants. They move on. We've got a Cubs versus Braves NLCS, and another upset. The Cubs take down both the Dodgers and the Braves. They're now in the World Series taking on the Rangers. Can they upset a third team? Yes, they can. Your Chicago Cubs are your 2023 World Series champions. It's their first win for the playoff predictor. So congratulations for the Cubs there. And congratulations to me, because we are wrapping up a Friday episode before even getting close to the 40-minute mark. I'd never thought I'd see the day again. This is the episode here. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. And before we leave, just a quick question. I'm curious to your thoughts of who are going to come out of the NL Wildcard. So leave some comments down below saying your 3 teams who you think is going to take home the 1, 2, and 3 seeds for that NL Wildcard. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening to today's episode, and I will see you guys after the weekend on Monday.